What's wrong with you, Chop? Chop, you alright?
Drink of water. Let me get some water real quick. I gotta piss, matter of fact.
Chop, what's up with you, man?
Nothing at all.
You going on live just trolling? That's your new thing, Chop?
Mano.
Chat.
Hold on.
Chat. You know you talking to Junior right now?
I just sent out a fire emoji. You hot. You scorching. Man, I got in the game by myself though.
Man, we all did.
Nah, I didn't.
I said we all did.
Nah, you didn't.
Yeah, we did.
All right.
Tell them about that time when them Crips
All
came in
right,
that studio
Chop.
robbed your. Tell them. Took everything. Yeah, and they had to get your back.
Smoking.
You pay and get your back too.
But y'all security need to stop it. Atlanta, what up, man?
Come out. Come out. Come out.
Cool.
Hey, if I signal good tonight. So, hey, stop! Stop it! Let out the floor.
Young Chop has built a name for himself as one of the best producers in the drill scene, no doubt about that. But along with his reputation for crafting hits, he's also earned a reputation as a troublemaker. Over the years, this guy has managed to butt heads with just about everyone, especially rappers.
You playing, Chop? I know
Who the f is you talking to?
Yeah, Chop. You know.
Bro, who is you talking to?
I'm talking to your you fat stinking.
You want a problem with me?
Are you playing?
Why you got smoke with 21?
Why I gotta smoke with 21? Cause he a and you a
How 20?
you talking about? And then when I get locked up, I'm gonna show you was.
Now, Chop was always known for being a little wild, but things really took a turn for the worse after he suffered two devastating losses. He lost his grandmother in 2015, and then just a year later, his mother passed away. These weren't just any losses, these were two of the most important people in his life. Chop was extremely close to both of them, and their deaths seemed to push him over the edge. His mom in particular was a huge part of his life and his career. She wasn't just his biggest supporter, she was also there for him in a way few others could be.
And you filming me, man, you gonna fall out. Man, you gonna fall out real hard. Don't, please, baby, don't take it.
Despite his success in the music industry, Chop never got his driver's license, so his mom was the one who drove him everywhere. Interviews, studio sessions, and road trips, they were practically inseparable, and her loss left a massive hole in his life. For many people, it felt like this was the moment when everything started to unravel for Chop. It seemed like he just got mad at the world. He started lashing out at everyone, picking fights and acting like he had a point to prove. The guy became a full-on menace. Take his infamous Instagram Live moments for example. There was this one time he got into it with Southside from 808 Mafia, and things went completely off the rails.
All right.
Tell them about that time when them Crips
All
came in
right,
that studio
Chop.
robbed your. Tell them.
Chop.
Took everything. Yeah, and they had to
Yo,
get
mom
your back.
smoking.
You pay and get your back too.
The argument got so messy that Southside said something truly foul. He mentioned pissing on young Chop's mother's grave. The comment hit like a gut punch, and you could see it in Chop's reaction. He went silent, and you just knew that struck a nerve.
I'm gonna piss all on your mama grave, you swear to God. You on God. I'm gonna piss in your mama shit. Then let all the homies piss in that shit. We would've ran that if she was still alive.
Fans called Southside out for crossing the line, but others argued that in beef, there are no rules. Still, it was a moment that stuck with people. Then there was the time Chop clashed with J Prince Jr. during another Instagram Live. This wasn't just an argument, it was young Chop in full troll mode, mocking and taunting J Prince Jr. like he didn't have a care in the world.
Chat.
Hold on.
Chat. You know you talking to Junior right now?
I just sent out a fire emoji. You hot. You scorching. Man, I got in the game by myself though.
Man, we all did.
Nah, I didn't.
I said we all did.
Nah, you didn't.
Yeah, we did.
And if that wasn't enough, he also got into it with Trav, accusing him of being a snitch. That accusation sent Trav into a full-blown rage.
You gotta be either high or retarded, either mentioning police with any real name. Yo, listen, you playing, Chop. You playing, Chop. I know
Who the f is you talking to?
Yeah, Chop. You know.
Bro, who is you talking to?
I'm talking to your you fat stinking.
You want a problem with me?
Are you playing?
Even after Chop left the live, he wasn't done. He went straight to the comments to keep trolling Trav, making the situation even worse.
Now, because you said that, I'm on your You just put me on your My God, I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. I'm not even gonna say nothing.
But it wasn't just random beefs or internet antics. Chop started going after some of the biggest names in the industry. He burned bridges left and right, even with people he had worked closely with in the past. His relationship with Chief Keef, for instance, fell apart. Back in the day, Chop was introduced to Keef by a mutual friend, Edai, during the production of Keef's mixtape Bang. Chop was still relatively new to the game, but his beats were already making waves. Tracks from Bang and another Keef project, The Glory Road, started generating buzz around Chicago. People were taking notice, and Chop's name began to circulate. But just as Chop's momentum was building, he hit a major roadblock. He was arrested for firing shots from his car, which temporarily derailed his rising career. Despite the setback, Chop didn't give up. After he served his time, he was ready to jump back into the scene, and Chief Keef was right there, waiting to make it happen. According to Chop, Keef reached out to him on Facebook, asking him to bring over his computer so they could work together. Chop, still a high school student at the time, didn't waste a second. Right after class, he grabbed his gear and headed straight to Keef's place.
Got released from jail. He was on house arrest, and then he called me like, bro, I want you to come do my whole mixtape, cause I'm an engineer too. I just brought my studio to his house every day after school, like literally. School get out like 3:50. I'm at his house at like 4 o'clock, 4:30 or something.
That day, they created 300, a track that would become a pivotal moment in their careers.
We got out and we did, the first song he recorded when he got back out of jail was 300. And then next thing you know, we dropped the snippet, and it just went crazy.
The gritty energy of the song, paired with Keef's raw delivery and Chop's hard-hitting production, captured the spirit of Chicago's South Side in a way that felt authentic and unfiltered. The music video was simple, Keef and his crew rapping in their neighborhood, but that raw, unpolished vibe is exactly what made it resonate. It wasn't trying to be flashy or commercial. It was real, and that authenticity struck a chord with listeners.
Bang, bang. 300, bang.
While 300 put them on the map, their next release would catapult them to a whole new level. In March 2012, they dropped I Don't Like, a track that didn't just introduce the world to drill music, it cemented its place in hip-hop history. If 300 was a spark, I Don't Like was the explosion. The song blew up on YouTube, quickly racking up millions of views and becoming an anthem for Chicago drill.
Sneak this up, that's that I don't like.
The aggressive energy of the track, combined with Chop's dark and innovative production style, made it an instant classic. Suddenly, everyone was talking about Chicago drill, and young Chop and Chief Keef were at the center of it all. The raw, unapologetic sound of I Don't Like resonated far beyond Chicago. It influenced a whole generation of artists, putting the city on the hip-hop map like never before. But things got even crazier when Kanye West got involved. Kanye, along with Pusha T, Big Sean, and Jadakiss, jumped on the remix of I Don't Like, taking the song to an entirely new level. Suddenly, what started as a raw street anthem became a mainstream hit. The remix racked up even more views and streams, and everyone was talking about Chicago drill. Getting one of the biggest artists in the world to remix your beat sounds like a dream come true for any producer, but for young Chop, it wasn't all smooth sailing. The I Don't Like remix featuring Kanye West, Pusha T, Big Sean, and Jadakiss brought massive attention to Chicago drill music and turned Chief Keef into a superstar. But Chop wasn't feeling how it all went down. In fact, this situation kicked off one of his first major beefs. Chop's original beat for I Don't Like had that raw, gritty sound that helped define drill music, but Kanye's remix flipped it into something entirely different. Fans loved it, it was a massive hit, but Chop felt disrespected. In an interview with XXL, he said the first time he heard the remix was on the radio, even though he had specifically asked to hear it before it dropped. I'm hearing the song and there's different sounds in the beat. It don't even sound like the real beat. It sounded like a rock star beat, and that's not how I do it. That's not my sound, Chop explained. To make matters worse, Chop never even got to talk to Kanye directly about it. He had to go through multiple people just to try to reach Yeah. Chop was actually in the studio when Big Sean laid down his verse, but it was recorded over the original beat. He had no idea the changes were coming until the remix was already out. There were even rumors that Chop was planning to sue Kanye over the situation, but those quickly died down after Kanye reached out to smooth things over. A few days later, Chop publicly said everything was cool between them. In 2013, Chop and Kanye even linked up in the studio while Kanye was working on his Yeezus album. Chop spoke about the experience during an interview with DJ Vlad, saying, "I sat down with him. Like, bro is really mother effing talented. The ish is just genius work." It seemed like the drama had settled down, but that wasn't quite the end of it. By 2015, Chop was still expressing frustration over how Kanye handled the situation. In an interview with DJ Booth, Chop claimed Kanye came to him specifically to capture the drill sound he and Keef had created, saying, "He wanted me and he wanted that sound. He was taking from us. You feel what I'm saying?"
Yeah, he wanted beats and he wanted that sound. You see what I'm saying? He was taking from us.
In another interview from that same year, Chop accused Kanye of using people for their ideas and then cutting them off. Kanye don't make it no better, you feel me? He be right along with the ish, trying to soak up everything dudes know, and then don't call you after that.
Kanye don't make it no better, you feel me? He right along with use you, try to get you the right songs for him, and then don't call you after that.
Beefing with a superstar like Kanye West is rarely a good career move, but eventually, after a few years of tension, Chop and Chief Keef squashed their beef and started making music together again. For a while, it seemed like Chop might be on the road to getting his career back on track. Reuniting with Keef was a major step in the right direction. But just as things started looking up, Chop found himself in a far more serious situation, one that nearly cost him his life. During an Instagram live chat with Gilly Da Kid, young Chop shared a wild story about a studio session he once had with Meek Mill and 21 Savage. According to Chop, he showed up to the studio packing heat. Literally, he claimed that as soon as Meek and 21 Savage realized what was going on, they dipped out of there fast.
I'm telling you, I was in the studio with him and Meek, living like that. I had that you dig on me, left the studio, swear to God.
But that wasn't the end of the drama with Meek. After the studio incident, Chop said he tried to get Meek to collaborate with Polo G, but Meek never responded. For Chop, this wasn't just a brush-off, it was a sign of Meek's fakeness. During the same Instagram live with Gilly, Gilly tried to defend Meek, saying maybe it wasn't that deep, but Chop wasn't having it. He doubled down on his criticism, calling Meek fake and even dragging other big names into it. French Montana, Lil Wayne, and Cassidy all got called out by Chop as being fake gangsters too. It didn't take long for Meek Mill to respond. He hit back on Twitter, but instead of firing shots at Chop, Meek expressed concern for his mental health. Meek wrote, "It's obvious Chop having some mental issues. Y'all be gassing stuff so much y'all just ignore it. I've been getting beats from him for years. Hope he gets well." French Montana also chimed in, echoing Meek's sentiments but in a harsher tone. French tweeted, "It's sad to see this. Young Chop need to be in a mental institution. It's only a matter of time till somebody take his life. Then all you gonna see is RIP. If somebody care about that man, go grab him and take him somewhere." 21 Savage also threw his 2 cents in, posting an Instagram story about the situation. He wrote, "Make sure y'all go get his tape when it drops because he needs the clout, and pray for him because he done lost his mind." He would also go live and talk more about it. Like Meek and French, 21 seemed more baffled by Chop's antics than angry about them, but Chop wasn't going to let that slide. He jumped on his own Instagram live to clap back at 21, saying they could fight anytime since they lived in the same area.
And 21, we live in the same area. Telling people that we live in the same, we go to the same Walmart. What's up?
As if juggling beefs with Meek and 21 Savage wasn't enough, Chop decided to stir the pot even more. He sent out a tweet claiming Meek was mad at him because Meek's girl had been unfaithful. He didn't stop there though. Behind the scenes, things got even more heated when 21 Savage slid into Chop's DMs with a threat. Instead of keeping it private, Chop posted the message for everyone to see, making it clear he wasn't backing down from anything. And then, out of nowhere, Chop took a random shot at R&B singer Sean Kingston. The two had worked together in the past on Kingston's track Kissin' Girls, but now Chop was questioning Kingston's preference. It seemed to come completely out of left field, leaving fans and followers scratching their heads. Later, Chop issued what seemed like an apology to Kingston, but in true young Chop fashion, it didn't take long for him to double down on his original comments. Young Chop kept adding fuel to the fire, taking aim at his new ops and making sure everyone knew he wasn't backing down. In one particularly wild moment, he posted a photo of 21 Savage with his ex-girlfriend Amber Rose, holding a sign that read, "I'm a H2. The trolling didn't stop there. Chop decided to take things offline and popped up in 21 Savage's old neighborhood, asking random people where 21 was. The entire thing played out on video, with Chop running up a massive Uber bill while driving around looking for his new rival.
Hey, big dog. Big dog. What's up, big dog? What 21 is that? What 21?
But things quickly escalated. Allegedly, while Chop was sitting in the backseat of his Uber, someone shot at the car. In the same video, Chop claimed that the attackers hit the Uber driver's windows, and he even offered to pay for the damage, casually throwing in,
Bro, they need to go hire some more shooters, bro. What the bro?
Around this time, Chop also managed to stir up drama with King Von. During an Instagram live session, Chop jumped into the chat of King Von's girl.
Get this man off my life. Chop, big. Tell him going on.
Chop,
hey, Chop, we don't even play like that over there.
I think Chop.
It was clear by this point that Chop was ready to clash with just about anyone, and his antics were becoming harder and harder to ignore. Things took an even darker turn later in 2020. Chop was arrested for discharging a firearm on his front porch in the middle of the night. Thankfully, no one was injured, but according to Chop, the situation wasn't as random as it seemed. He claimed that some goons had tried to follow him home, leading to him firing the shots. Of course, Chop being Chop, he posted the whole ordeal on Instagram, sharing footage of what went down.
What's up? Oh.
But the chaos didn't stop. Just a week after his trip to 21 Savage's old neighborhood, Chop was arrested again, this time for reckless conduct. According to the arrest report, things got heated while Chop was riding in that Uber. He'd asked the driver to take him to a convenience store and then to an apartment complex where he claimed 21 Savage lived. When they arrived, it turned out not to be the right spot. That didn't stop Chop from hopping out of the car and asking people on the street if they knew where 21's house was. At some point, Chop got into an argument with a random man, and things escalated quickly. Chop allegedly pulled out a semi-automatic handgun, causing a scene before getting back into the Uber. As they were leaving, a sedan pulled up, and shots were fired at the Uber, hitting several parts of the car. Chop then told the driver to chase the sedan, but they couldn't catch up. After all the chaos, Chop simply asked the driver to take him home. He even offered to pay for the damages to the car, but asked the driver not to report anything to the police. By 2022, Chop's life took yet another tragic turn. Reports surfaced that his brother had been involved in a violent domestic dispute with his girlfriend, which ended with her taking his life. It was a devastating blow for Chop, who by this time had already endured so much loss. Around the same time, fans noticed that Chop started going quiet on social media. By April 2022, young Chop's troubles caught up with him again. This time, he was arrested for jumping bail on his previous charges and failing to show up for fingerprinting. And after more than 2 years, young Chop finally came back home, and it seems like he has done a complete 180. Sources say he's a changed man, leaving all the drama behind and putting his focus back on music. Young Chop would shock everyone by dropping a surprise EP titled A 4-Piece, which included 2 singles and accompanying music videos, Chicken and No Other Way.
Like a chicken with his head cut off, walk around like a chicken with his head cut off. I'ma hop out on feet, why keep playing with me? Look, we playing for keeps, better keep your
Fans were quick to embrace the new music. Chicken in particular received a lot of praise, with listeners loving how Chop's sound seemed to evolve while still blending seamlessly with the current music era. Some even compared his style to Future, pointing out how he's managing to stay relevant despite his time away. Sure, these tracks might not hit the same heights as his earlier classics, but for many, they're a promising glimpse into what Chop has up his sleeve.